to the show, everybody. This is episode number 247 of the Iron Coop Fights movies. This episode is available on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, and hosted by SoundCloud. Check out my graphic novel, link in the description. Thank you for the support. I'm Kia. Did I already say that part? No. I'm Kia, your host. With me on the show today are my co-hosts, Emerson.
Hi, what's going on?
Split screen. And Everett.
Hey, what's up?
This week, the team reviews Pleasantville. I'm going to explain our rating system. On this show, we give the titles that we have watched a rating of win, draw, or loss. A win is a title that we would highly recommend, while a draw is a title we didn't love or recognize others may appreciate. A loss means we do not recommend the title. Everett, are you willing to go first this time?
Sure.
This is your pick.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I should give our synopsis, right?
Sure.
Impressed by high school student David's devotion to a 1950s family TV show, a mysterious television repairman provides him with a means to escape into the black and white program with his sister, Jennifer. While David initially takes to the simplistic, corny world of the show, Jennifer sets about jolting the characters with doses of reality that unexpectedly bring a little color into their drab existence. All right, Everett, go ahead.
So I, a long time ago, listed this as my favorite movie of all time. And I think that still stands. I give this movie a win, obviously. I really enjoy this movie for a couple reasons, but I guess the first one would be I think it's a good blend of a lot of different themes. I think it's an interesting, like, sort of weird sci-fi film at the beginning, like Twilight Zone almost. It's got good romantic parts. And then it changes to a good social film, like teaches a lot about like historical stuff. And I guess for reference, like the first time I ever watched this movie, wait,
what
I guess I can't really explain it.
What does it teach you about historical stuff?
Well, like how it has like all the, like the racial themes and stuff, and like it talks about segregation out of nowhere, and it starts turning from like sort of like a movie about like
do they know
being transported somewhere.
Do they know what black people are in Pleasantville?
I don't know. I didn't really see that, but I think it's a really good movie, and it's got a lot of funny scenes. I think there's good acting. It's got a great score. I think the way they work with the design of black and white over color is fantastic. I love the way it looks, and I think it's a pretty unique movie. Like I've never really seen anything like it. And the other reason I like it is every time I watch it, I just I don't know. It makes me happy. Not like in other movies where like I enjoy watching Star Wars or any other weird shit we watch. This movie genuinely makes me like happy to watch. Just seeing the characters sort of develop over the course of the 2 hours. So yeah, I really like it, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Understood.
So I knew nothing about this movie, never heard of it, never seen a trailer for it, didn't look it up. I'm gonna give it a draw. I think it was like there were some interesting concepts. I actually had some serious WandaVision vibes when it first opened. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then kind of like WandaVision, like there's things happening and it is interesting to a point.
Actually, a better version of WandaVision.
Yeah, it is a better version of WandaVision. There's things happening and it's interesting, but it's also like there were points where it's just a little odd. And I don't know if it's the dated, like it's a dated movie. So I knew about slavery before watching this. So like it didn't teach me anything about like slavery.
That was a bad way for me to describe that. Like,
wait, I don't remember. When did they talk about slavery?
They
didn't talk about
colors
slavery
in the sign, Kia, which is a veiled reference to slavery. They didn't talk about it, but they had the signs that said no colors.
Right, but yeah, there's not a single black person in the town. So who's the sign for?
This movie's pretty non-diverse. I'm going to be honest.
I think that was
the sign is for people who have color. It's like if you're black and white, you can go into the store.
Oh, if that color. Okay, yeah, all right. I was like,
that's
what?
Not a good
When
sign.
did they talk about segregation?
Yeah, no, they're talking about like literal color.
Yeah, because black people don't exist to them. Like,
yeah. So yeah, it's a draw. Like I see, like I don't think it's bad per se, but I also wasn't particularly blown away by it. I was just like, okay, this is interesting. The guy, like, I don't understand what the fuck well, I'll talk about some stuff I don't understand with the guy who puts them into the universe. But yeah.
That's a little weird. I'll admit that's a little weird.
There's a couple of things here that are a little weird. Um, okay, I'm gonna say that I give it a win. I enjoyed it. I think there's some weird parts where it's like if you think about it too much, it doesn't make any sense at all. And it's like, okay, I get it. See, and so I actually wasn't planning on doing this, but now that you bring it up, because I had the same thought about comparing it to WandaVision, it's like I actually think that's the most interesting way to discuss it because WandaVision is part of a greater universe.
Mhm.
So when it's like a weird world, you almost have to have an answer as to how this happened. Whereas when it's just like this magical bullshit, whatever, it's like, all right, we won't think about it too much. But still, there are some questions that break things. They don't have toilets. Why not?
I mean, I guess the answer I'd give would be it's a fucking television show. You don't ever see that. What I forget. Okay, so it's like
Then
from the
why do they have
1940s or
penises?
50s or something, right? Like that show specifically. Like,
Why do they have penises, Everett?
do you ever see them? I mean, like you're
I mean,
watching
we
like a
see them
19
using them. Quote
Yeah,
unquote.
she did something to his penis, that's for sure. And that he's never like done before. So I would
I
just
mean,
I
he
would
even
just
says multiple times they're all having sex.
The
it definitely
cop out
seems
answer I
like
could give would be like everybody's changing and evolving to match the real world. But you're right; it doesn't make sense if you think about it.
like they don't age, right?
I would assume they start aging or something by the end because that's like when
Okay,
everything
but in
matches up.
status quo Pleasantville, they don't age.
No,
So
because
they
it's a
don't
show.
reproduce either.
No, because it's a show.
So if there are no toilets, then why do they have penises?
I mean, you're right. I mean, I don't really know what to say.
All right, so before let me just ask the biggest fucking question. The problem is the movie ending is pretty predictable. Like they're gonna go back to their world
Well,
as
one goes
changed
back,
people.
one stays.
Okay, that's exactly where I'm headed. He goes back. There's some emotional incest going on with his mom. That's what it's called when like the son becomes like the shoulder to cry on, and the mom's like it's emotional incest. It's mild, but it's it's there. It's okay. Weird thing number one. Weird thing number two. Doesn't she have a daughter that is supposed to live in the house and is no
Yeah,
longer
I was
there
gonna
anymore?
bring that up. I was like, so no one's gonna ask where the fuck the daughter is, like ever.
Everett, what do you say to that?
So here's the thing: I never really asked myself these questions, so
Even watching it this time, you didn't say like,
I
"Where's the
know
sister?"
Everett
guess
smiles like the sister's trapped in this other world, and Everett's like, yeah, it makes me happy.
Well, yeah, no, that's another thing I was gonna get to is that you say it's happy. The movie's actually pretty dark,
I said
like
it makes
very
me
dark.
happy. I didn't say the movie was happy. I think it had happy moments. It had a happy ending.
Well,
I
kind
don't
of. The
know,
daughter
like
was
Sort
gone
of.
forever.
yeah, the woman lost her daughter.
Also, I just want to add on to another thing that doesn't make sense. So the guy with the TV shows up, puts them in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's then like constantly showing up in the world, like getting angry because they're changing stuff. But then at the end, he kind of just drives off like all's well that ends well. And it's like, what the fuck was his goal? Shouldn't he be mad? Isn't he supposed to reset the program?
I mean,
It seems
the
whatever
only
triggers him is breaking the TV remote.
the only real answer I can give to that is: have you guys ever seen the movie Click before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can really compare to it. Is that the guy who gives them the remote is trying to teach them a lesson, but
Yeah, but like he is he just I want to see a movie about that guy going around sticking people in shows. He's
Yeah,
like a
what
serial killer.
and this is what I don't get is like he shows up because they broke their remote. And it's like, but he's directly connected to Pleasantville.
I mean, okay, I don't know who he is. You're not supposed to know who he is, but his whole
Right, but
shtick is
what
like, oh,
brings
you
him
love
on?
the show so much, you
How does
proved
he
that you love it so much. Let me put you in it so you can enjoy basically the utopia, and then they change everything.
Okay, but he where does he come from?
I don't know. They never explain it.
So the TV remote breaks, he's just there. And then when he's there, he happens to figure out that Tobey Maguire knows a lot about the show and then randomly decides I'm going to put you in there.
See, I took it as that he's magic and he shows up. But what I didn't understand is what the fuck his ultimate goal was. Because at first it was like a punishment thing. Then it was like he was angry that they were changing the show. Then at the end, he's like happy because they changed everything and they're happy. And I'm like, what the fuck is your goal?
He's 100% a plot device.
He is a plot device, but from what I understood, it's he shows up to fix their remote. You're right; it comes out of nowhere, but he talks to
Well, it's
Bud.
magic
not
because
Bud,
he
talks
shows
to-
up immediately, right? Like no one called him. He's just
yeah,
there.
that's why I say he comes up out of nowhere. But he talks to not Bud, David in the real world. Talks to him and realizes, oh, you're a big fan of this show. Let me reward you by putting you into it.
And
obviously,
also your sister for
yeah.
some reason.
And then once they start changing it, and once they start complaining, they're like, oh, well, let me give you a week to sort of like basically sit around and experience it as like, yeah, like sort of like a punishment. And then as they start changing stuff, he starts to get upset. And then once everything's over, I guess he's a little bit indifferent.
Wait, so he puts him in. Isn't he like so upset? Doesn't he put him in as a punishment?
No, he doesn't put them in as a punishment. He puts them in sort of like almost like a reward, like because David really likes the show. He doesn't care about the sister.
But
I don't think
doesn't he say like I gotta wait a couple weeks?
They ask to get out.
Yeah, they
because
ask
it's
to get out.
insane that anyone would think that's a reward to be put into a TV show. And then he says, "I'm leaving. I'm going to leave for a couple weeks." And
Yeah,
you're gonna sort
because
this out.
From that motherfucker's point of view, he's like, well, I just gave you a gift and you don't like it. Let me punish you by basically forcing you to experience it.
And then they're there, and then they start changing things, and he comes back and he's upset.
Yeah,
Is
he
that right?
doesn't want them to change stuff
Because he
gets
wants
angry.
them to live basically in the roles of the characters, not to change
So
anything.
why doesn't he just pull him out?
I don't think he can. I think it's a one way.
But he says that he's going to reset
Wait,
everything
you
back
think
to
it's a
normal.
one-way? Like this guy thinks that it's a one-way ticket, and he
Well,
does
okay,
that to them?
if you have the remote and you go in and you have that remote in the world, only you can get out. I'm assuming from the way they explain or describe it, I'm assuming he doesn't have another one, which is odd, but
But doesn't he say he's going to fix everything?
yeah, he
to
says
make it
he's
go
going to
back
fix
the
everything
way
after they
before?
leave. They're going to come
You know,
back. They're going to give him the remote, and then he fixes things. That's how they describe it.
But he
Okay,
can't
but
fix
only
that
one of them
Jennifer is a
left. So
slut.
does he get to fix it? Does she get put back? Does he like reset it?
Do they like? Does he put them back? I would assume he doesn't put them back after he fixes everything.
But he
Yeah,
wants to fix everything.
But does he send
Yeah.
Jennifer back?
No,
But
I'm
then he
guessing
can't fix
not.
everything because she's still in there.
She's
So does
still out
he
there blowing
enslave her?
dudes.
Yeah, does he like enslave her and turn her back into a brainwashed character?
Are you guys saying at the end, the actual, not after like everything's resolved? You're saying at the end when she goes to college, he's gonna fix everything and keep her there.
Well, that's what's implied because he says he's going to fix the show.
Well, no, it was implied
Like-
that he wanted to fix everything before like the indifference happened.
So wouldn't
It's
that
like-
mean he has to get rid of Jennifer?
I think I think we're confused a little bit. At least I'm confused because the time period that I'm thinking of, halfway through the movie, he talks to Bud on the TV and he's like, get the remote, leave, and then I'm gonna fix everything and turn everything back to normal, right?
Okay.
Then the rest of the movie goes on, they evolve, they basically get on par with the real world, and then he leaves and she stays, and then he doesn't make he's out, he has the remote, he doesn't make an effort to change anything, he just leaves.
Who's he?
The guy with the remote.
The cable guy, Don Knotts?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
isn't it like assumed that he's going off to fix it because that's what he says he's going to do the whole time?
I mean, like he had a smile on his face, he was leaving, he didn't stay
Yeah,
to
'cause
do
he's
it.
a fucking freak. He goes around trapping people in TV.
I think it's obvious that he's going to keep it the same way. I don't think he's going to change it, especially at the end.
I think
I know they don't explain
it. I know
they don't overly explain it.
I think what
Where
he says
is
and what he
the
does.
college?
I mean, it can be assumed that the world expanded. There's
I
just
mean, they're what? They make a very clear demonstration that like Pleasantville is like a T-shaped street.
yeah, but
It's
as
a T
everything starts,
intersection, really.
it's a show. You got to consider it like a movie set. Yeah, it's a T-shaped intersection. It's like one small little town.
So where's the college, and who are all those people that are there?
So
Where did all the
I
books and
actually-
art come from?
I actually
Things from the real
agree.
world bleed into it. And
I
then,
think Everett's making a poor argument
Okay.
here. I actually agree with Everett that the world expands, but I think he's not making a good argument. All of a sudden, when the world goes to color and everything's normal, the TV suddenly starts showing footage from the rest of the world, all the TVs from like
Okay.
around the world. And then all of a sudden these signs appear saying like St. Louis, 12 miles, and Greyhound buses
Okay.
are coming into town.
Yeah.
So I think the world does expand
Okay.
after they like save everything.
Okay. So I gave it a win. I enjoyed it, but how do you reconcile with the fact that the sister is gone?
I mean, I guess the movie ends before they can really start asking those questions. But my cop out answer would be, I guess.
I mean,
guess
it
she could
doesn't though.
contact him somehow. I don't know. There's no answer.
Isn't the mom like sitting there like the daughter isn't here anymore?
You think that would be addressed? What if he tells his mom? I would have loved the scene where his mom goes, "Where's your sister?" And he just smiles and goes, "She went to college," and the movie ends. It makes no sense. Oh god, that'd be fucking hilarious.
I think that the movie is tonally like extremely dark. It's
Okay.
like the guy, what's his name? Dan, the Dumb and Dumber guy.
Yeah, he's the diner dude.
So yeah, the diner guy.
I forget his name. Yeah, like everything with him is super dark. The
Yeah.
mom is super dark. Like, I also don't like how it's like they're like sex is the number one thing that's like, oh my god, I can see color. Like, life is actually worth living.
Well, because it's interesting because the movie leads into that for like the first half, and then later it's like, oh, it's actually just all emotion that allows you to see
Right.
color. But it's like, yeah, you'd think that emotion could be there from the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah. But like even with the mom, it was like her like having what she masturbated the first time,
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the.
but she looked like she was suicidal the whole movie. Like she wanted to kill herself, it seemed.
I
And
mean,
the dad was oblivious to it. Then she's like sort of having an affair with the diner guy, and he like hates his life and wants to be an
And they're
artist.
like, yeah. Oh god.
I mean, it's pretty dark. And like, what's his name? The guy that Jennifer was dating, Paul Walker.
Skip or whatever his name is.
He was also like, I mean, it's not right to do that to someone. Like she like blew his mind. I don't mean like no pun intended, but like that guy, he might be like screwed up now, like because of his first sexual encounter was with someone like that. Like the guy had no concept of sex. It seems like he didn't know anything. Did he even know he had a penis? Like honestly, was he even aware of it?
No, I'm assuming not. I mean,
That's that's fucked up. Also, so if the show changes, the world changes, whatever. What are they watching on TV? Like, what is Pleasantville the show now? Is it like that 70s
It's
show
porn.
now? Like
It's porn now. That's
it
what it
does
is.
seem like it does seem like trashy CW like Gossip Girl type shit now. It's not a good show that I would recommend to anybody. Like everyone's like fucking sad and like compensating with sex, or I don't know. Like I don't know what else they do. Do they do anything else? He does some art, I guess.
I mean, they go out and they explore nature. They see all the beauty of like all that other stuff. Yeah, they do art. They read books.
Yeah, their art has sex in it. It's good.
Yeah, but
I like the movie. I didn't. I think the ending is super weird. And even if you just ignore all of the shit about how they got in there and how they got out,
I
it's
think that a
weird
lot of these type of movies are difficult to look at really because it's like, yeah, it's good, but like, I don't know. There's not a ton to say if you don't like nitpick the little things.
What was Tobey Maguire's arc? Like, what was his change? He was brave now.
well, he was sort of like the meek loser in the real world, and in Pleasantville,
One sec.
he was like the guy. He was like the main character. He knew everything about that world. That was his world essentially. Like, and then as he got in there, he started to evolve himself. Yeah, he became braver. Yeah, he fell in love with that one girl. He emotionally matured, sort of.
Fell in love with her and then he left her.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't real.
Right. So, like, what is Jennifer doing there if they're not real?
I mean, you're right. I don't have an answer to that, but
Like, she's going to a real college. from the
in
1950s.
an alternate dimension. Yeah, it's basically like going back in time.
Like, what was the curriculum back then? Like, I can't
mean,
imagine
like,
it was very good.
yeah, can
Aside
you
from maybe some science?
if you really want to nitpick it that far, remember, like, technically all the books and stuff
I'm back.
span from what the people know. So remember, like, when they were reading Huckleberry Finn, it only went as far as she remembered, and then Bud like filled the rest of it out because he knew. If she's really that dumb and wasn't smart enough to get into the college in the real world, then when she goes to college in the fake world, technically shouldn't it only be like the stuff that she knows? Or
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be all the knowledge is just based on what Bud and her know. So
Mhm.
it's like the college of Bud, basically. And then, what is she gonna do with her degree?
come back and hold up a piece of paper that says, "I went to Pleasantville
Can she bring
University."
stuff back with her?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, she seems to equate a college degree from like 1958 in the fake world to like, well, I can't
Yeah,
get a
wait.
regular college
Actually,
degree.
the rate of women going to college in 1958 is like, it's pretty low.
Dude,
And
yeah.
she's going out into a world that's really sexist. And Vietnam, that's about to happen.
That's the sequel we all need. She
These fucks,
reinvents
they
the
could have
world.
stopped a lot of shit, but instead they're like,
Um,
How
yeah,
how she stops the Vietnam War before it happens.
I think the ending really kind of screws up the movie. It's just weird how they don't acknowledge that she's gone. I can't get over it. And she just goes to college in the night in 1958. She goes to college to do what? What is she going to do after that? Like, what does
who
that
knows?
mean? If the world becomes real, but it's 1958, does that mean that at some point in 1990 she's going to like see Bud as a teenager, as she's an old woman, and
Dude,
even
what
see
if
herself?
that should have been the fucking ending right there? She's like across the street watching as the TV repairman leaves.
Probably. At least it would have been
And
a
then the
little bit of a.
TV repairman is Bud. Oh my God, it all comes together. They're in a show, even in the real world. Oh, that'd
I
be
think that's a
sick.
better ending. At least it makes you think a little bit instead of just being like, wait, what the fuck? What
Yeah,
do you mean he stays and he leaves and the mom, like, her date didn't go out because she's dating a much younger guy, and now she's like sort of being weirdly like emotionally open with her younger son. Like, what are you doing? What is that? You don't ask where your daughter is? Like, I mean, and don't forget, it's 1990 and they have that giant house, even though she's a single mom. Like, weird everything. Everything about it is odd.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but like the one thing about WandaVision that I think this movie did better. Do you see how they kind of kept with one show?
hmm
Because exploring that world is actually something you can do, but instead of like, oh, here's this world, and then you just change it.
Yeah,
Everything's different the next day.
and the other thing is that staying in one world allows you to acknowledge the aspects of what is wrong with that world. Like the firemen don't know what the fire is. They don't know
Right.
fire. Like that, you could have played that off to make it really creepy if you want. The like when the basketball team, they're not making their shots all of a sudden. They lose for the first time ever. Like you're able to acknowledge like something is clearly wrong here. It's a facade. But in WandaVision, we get 1-2 episodes of this era, and then it's like, oh, we're gone. And half of it is spent in the real world anyway, so it's worthless. Like,
And then like there's 6 episodes of like the basketball's not going in. It's like, yeah, we get it. Something's happening. It's not normal. We know Wanda doesn't live in this world. Like we know.
yeah,
So I thought that this one did it better. I almost wonder if you could like rip the main plot of this and put it into WandaVision where like, the color is leaking through instead of the black and white and like she's trying to hide it, something like that. That could have been something. It also could have been 2 hours instead of like 8 episodes or whatever they had.
agreed. They could
All
have
right,
given her a
Everett,
movie.
do you have anything else? Because this was your number one movie of all time.
I mean, I don't really have a lot to say about it other than what I said before. I really enjoy the movie. I think I think it's really good. Although you guys are right. Like when you really think about it and nitpick it, a lot of the stuff at the end and some of the stuff in the middle and beginning don't really
can
make
I
sense.
ask you a question, Everett? Is
Sure.
this your number one movie of all time? Like nothing is
That's
better
what
than
he
this.
ranked it as.
Or is this like the movie you enjoy the most, like a comfort movie?
The movie I enjoy the most. Obviously, there's
Okay,
better made
okay.
films.
That's
everywhere.
what I just because I was gonna say like because
I don't think this is the best movie ever made
the
of all
best movie,
time.
but I
Wait,
really
but you
like
ranked it number one
I ranked it number one because it's my favorite movie, like personally.
of all time.
Yeah, my favorite movie. I acknowledge there's better made movies, better written movies.
That's what you were asking, Emerson. Is like, is that does he think that that's like, for him? That's the best movie ever made.
that's true, Everett. For you, this is the best movie ever made.
I did I not just say it like 3 times?
Yeah, but I'm asking you to say yes or no.
But you're
I
saying
do
there are
not-
better
best-
movies,
Yeah, okay. No, this is not the greatest movie ever made.
Okay.
but it is your favorite movie.
It's my favorite movie.
above all other movies.
Yeah, above all other movies, this is my favorite movie. But I acknowledge it's not the best movie ever made. It's a comfort movie for me. Like I said,
Yeah, but see, like I have 2 lists, and that's why I was just asking because like there's the movies I'm like, these are some of the best ever. And then there's movies that I really enjoy that I acknowledge are not the best movies, but I like them for external reasons or when I watch them, things like that.
well, okay, let me for a moment compare your guys' favorite movie, Saving Private Ryan, to this movie.
That is
If I were
the
to
best movie ever made.
If I were to compare those 2 movies, I'd say Saving Private Ryan is probably one of the, if not the best movie ever made. Best war movie ever made by far. But that's because that's for completely different reasons. But yet I still like this movie over it because it's a comfort movie, because I enjoy it, because I like the themes, because I like the characters, because I don't know, it elicits an emotional
Yeah,
response.
and that's what I was trying to get at. You can enjoy this movie like more for your own reasons, like personally. I was just trying to see if you were like, this is the greatest movie ever made versus this is the movie
Well,
that
it
I
gets
like the
muddy
most.
because he ranked it on a top 10 list of like the best movies. And he
Okay,
ranked
and
it
then
number one.
if you guys took it as I thought it was the
Wasn't that, like,
greatest
the
movie ever
craziest
made.
upset? We need to go back and re-listen to that episode when he just goes Pleasantville.
If you guys took it as I thought this movie was the greatest movie ever made, period, like the number one, there's nothing better, then that's not true. I don't think it's the
we
greatest movie.
ranked the best.
Then
movies.
that's my fault. Then I misinterpreted it. But I thought we were ranking like the greatest movies that we consider the best. And I guess
that is what it is. Because we haven't seen every movie that's ever been made. So we took like what we think are the top 10 best movies, ranked them. So like
I was then I guess I was confused that if we were ranking it on the best made films and not what you consider to be the best movies. Because then I would have agreed with you. I would have said Saving Private Ryan is probably the best movie. But
yeah, I mean, I like this movie, but I was expecting it to be like deeper. And like, because you ranked it so high, I was like, this has got to have something to it. But it was just like kind of it was a fun movie, I guess.
I mean, Kia, consider who I am for a moment, and then say that again.
What?
You probably had too much expectation.
Well, that's why I was curious to watch the movie
Yeah.
to see how it played out. So next week is Batman.
Yes. Okay.
I have to buy my ticket still.
Emerson, you're thinking we can still do Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday will work.
So Everett, can you see the movie by Sunday?
I'm gonna try to get in on Friday or Saturday. Yeah.
After that, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to do a series or do you want to do a one-off?
We can start X-Men.
I'd be down to start X-Men. I'd be down to do Fantastic Four if we want something shorter.
I think I want to push X-Men off. I'm not interested in watching them right now.
Really?
Okay.
And I also I think I've made a decision. We're gonna skip Origins into Wolverine.
Yeah, I think you said that like a week or two ago. I agree.
I really don't want to watch them. Like I just flat out don't. And you know what? Like only 10 people listen to this, so if you really want us to do Origins or the Wolverine, then fucking comment or something. But I
Yeah,
don't
and
think
you'll
so.
be 1/10 of our audience, so we'll probably listen to you.
I'm not. Yeah, no, we'll do it. If somebody says they want us to do it, we'll do it. It's not like it costs us money, but I just don't feel. I don't want to watch it. That's all. So, I
So
know
do you
that they're
wanna-
bad. I know that
do
they're
you-
stupid.
Do you still want to push the Fantastic Four movies back closer to?
You guys really want to watch those right now?
Well, they were
I'm
on
not
our
interested.
list. I'm just trying to think
Yeah.
of what's
There's
on our
only
list.
3 movies. I mean,
I know, but that's like a 3-week thing.
So then what else is on our list? Who has the list?
Well, we have the Godfather trilogy, but I want to read the book
Yeah.
before that, so we'll put that off. There's the Lord of the Rings. There we haven't done 300 or Watchmen.
Ooh, I'd watch 300 or Watchmen. Those are both great.
Yeah,
movies.
I would do either one of those two.
There's the Hurt
'Cause
Locker,
I do Hurt
I haven't
Locker.
seen the
I
Hurt
like
Locker.
the Social Network,
I like
Oh.
Social Network.
Are we gonna do
Nolan-
Inception at some point?
Inception, and Interstellar.
Yeah, I'd be down. What if we did Inception after Batman? Because Everett hasn't seen it.
Yeah, just do just all the movies that I've never seen.
There's also the Minority Report,
I like Minority Report.
and then we had The Usual Suspects. Why is that on there?
Because I
Somebody wanna
recommended
watch
it. It was on my list of one of the greatest movies of all time. Actual great movies, not my favorite. That's an actual well-made movie.
I mean, I've seen it. It's good. I don't know that there's much to discuss. Do you really want to watch that one, Everett?
I mean, I like it. It's a good movie, but you're right. There's not a lot to discuss about it. The ending is probably the thing to discuss about it, but I don't know.
Well, I'll leave it on for now. We'll see. There's also the 2 Raid movies, which I don't even know. People just say that they're good. I have no idea what
The
those
Raid movies.
are. The Raid
Yeah.
and the Raid Redemption. Have you seen it,
Uh,
Emerson?
I've seen parts of them. I know why they're like loved.
Is it because they're like crazy action, or is it because
Yes.
it's actually a good
It's
movie?
because they're crazy action.
So is
Emerson,
it
why don't
not
we watch
worth-
the Resident Evil movies?
Is
No,
it not
God,
worth
no.
reviewing?
I mean, I say we should review the first one because, like, it is like kind of like how some of the choreography in Blood Hunters was like, wow, this is better than we were expecting. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, whoa, what they did here is interesting, especially if you like practical, like crazy fight scenes. It's kind of like Ip Man, but modern day, if in like with a combat setting.
About
Didn't they
have
make
you-
more Ip Man movies that we haven't seen yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they become like propaganda.
Oh,
I mean, I just don't know that I would want to waste a week like watching it and then reviewing it. What about Minority Report? Has anybody seen that?
Yeah, I've seen Minority Report.
I've
several
never seen
times.
Minority Report.
That's a good one. That one might be a book though.
I think it is also a book,
I might.
but I haven't
might
read the book.
for that one.
Did you guys
Um,
put American History X on that list? Because I've never seen that either.
I've seen American History X.
I've
I think-
seen it. You want to review it?
I mean, I've never seen it.
I mean, I think it's good, but I feel like it has some weak points as it goes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay to review it if you like want to.
Well, no, it's just a thought that popped into my head of things I've never seen.
I mean, that's something I think once we get through this preliminary list, we could see like, all right, do we still want to keep up the movie of the week format, or just do like news, or do we want to like do American History X just on a random week or something? Like I'm not against doing it, but looking at this list of like this is what's left, I don't really feel like I want to add that. All right, so what did you guys want to do Inception?
I'm leaning towards Inception. I'm also willing to do there was another single movie you put before Inception.
300, Watchmen.
I kind of want to watch
Yeah, I would
300.
do
I haven't watched
Hurt
300 in
Locker.
a long time.
I would do
Or-
any of those 4 movies. I think all 4 of those are good standalones.
Let's do The Hurt Locker because that's
Okay.
the one I have seen the least. Do you guys
Okay.
want to do The Social Network? Did ever put that one on?
It's a good movie.
Have you seen it, Kia?
It is a good movie. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it too. I mean,
So is it
it's a
worth
good
like
movie.
reviewing? It seems like
I feel
all-
like we might just be like it's good. It would be more for like conversation about Facebook and tech in general.
Yeah.
I'll leave it on for now. We don't have to do it right away. So we'll do Batman, and then I guess we'll do The Hurt Locker after that.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Since it's a war, there's a war going on. All right, Roundup. I finished Daredevil season 2. I gotta say, I kind of like all of Daredevil season 2.
Even the ending.
The ending was when the Punisher shows up and saves them.
Kills 6 guys and like the Hand is just like doing weird stuff and like
It's not amazing, but I don't hate it. Like people act like season 2 sucks or like was ruined. And I'm like, there's way more plot in Daredevil season 2 than there is in any of the Disney Plus shows. Like, I kept waiting for it to get bad, right? Because I remember the first 4 episodes are like Frank Castle, like amazing, really cool. And then he's like captured and on trial. And I'm like, well, the trial's still really interesting. And then there's then Elektra shows up, and I like that stuff. I like Elodie Young as Elektra, and the hand's kind of cool, and you see some of Matt's like backstory a little bit more, and him and Foggy. So that takes you to like episode 5 or 6 or something, and then Stick shows up, and they blow the trial of the century episode, and I mean I like that episode, and really it goes all the way up to episode 10 when Matt goes to visit. I think it's 10. Matt goes to visit Fisk in prison, and that's like one of the greatest scenes ever. And then there's the hospital scene, which I like, but then when Claire's like fighting in the hospital, that's kind of stupid. And
Where are
then,
they putting the Netflix shows after they take them off?
so I think in the United States it's going to be on Hulu, but in other countries it's going to be on Disney Plus. It's so stupid.
It's weird, but okay.
Um, so really, you're talking about the last few episodes
Yeah,
where
that's what I remember.
where Frank finds his like commander and kills him and becomes the Punisher, which I like. Like I don't mind that. I thought that that was a pretty good way to wrap up his story, even though in season 2 they kind of like redo it again. But I thought that was a pretty cool way to do that. And then um, Matt and Elektra, like they're trying to kill Elektra. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. The weakest part of it is when Punisher shows up and shoots a couple guys and like kind of does nothing else, and you're like, that's the finale. They seem like they ran out of money there a little bit. Um, but overall, I thought that was a pretty solid season. It was good. Um, and like feels like he's gone at the end of that, even though he comes back again. It's like, all right, at the end of season 2, he's gone, and like that was fine. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it. And then I watched Punisher season 1. I skipped Daredevil season 3 because like I've already seen it in season 1. Same shit. Um, and Punisher season 1 is also really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Like very fun to watch and interesting, and like I really enjoyed that. Even though they're retreading it again, they kind of started with a weird thing. Do you remember at the beginning? He's finishing off like every gang, like the cartel, the Irish.
Yeah.
He's like finishing them all off, and then he's done being Punisher, and that's like in the first 5 minutes of the show.
Yep.
You know, like that's a little weird that you would make him not the Punisher, and then he becomes the Punisher again. Where you're like, all
Yeah.
right, whatever. It was still a fun like season, and he was still like punishing people. Remember he had all his military squads that like each episode was like centered around one of them, and
Yep.
like I forgot about the medic Curtis, like he was cool. Um, it was good. I enjoyed it. I forgot him and Karen, like they should totally like be a couple, and then Matt and Elektra, and like, but it's weird how much they set up Karen and Foggy in Daredevil, and then switch it to Karen and Matt, and then switch it to Matt and Elektra, and then Karen and Punisher. But like none of them actually like go anywhere. And I don't even remember how season 3 ended aside from Fisk goes to
Season
jail.
3, I'm pretty sure that Karen ends up with Matt.
They're like all happy, right? Like everybody's like, it's all great. And whatever. Um so yeah, that's about all I watched. So Roundup. Do you guys have anything else for Roundup?
No, I didn't watch anything.
No.
Gaming. Anybody played Elden Ring?
Not yet, but
I've just heard it's really fucking hard. And I know Kia, you said that like it's supposed to be the easiest of that genre. But
also
I think I'm
heard
gonna
that,
get it.
I've heard the
not yet.
online's a little finicky right now, but I heard it's a good.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I want to play Dragon Age 3 or Inquisition, and then I will probably play this. If you've never played
I'll pick
Bloodborne
it
or,
up with you.
Yeah, same
or
here.
Dark Souls before, getting used to Elden Ring may take longer than expected. Considering the game's just kicked off its closed network test, players will have more than enough time to grasp the ropes. Though adventuring through Elden Ring by yourself will be an adventure on its own, the experience. Wait, this isn't. I meant to read the ending of his review. Um, is this it? No? Jesus. Where's the ending of this?
It's talking about Wordle, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I was reading. Maybe I scrolled. Oh wait, this is the wrong thing. I was looking up how the multiplayer works. So
How does it work?
I guess you can just join like once it's up and running, you can just join. You have to make your character, kick the game off, and then there's a multiplayer mode, and you can just join. Um, I don't understand how the leveling will work. Um, I mean, I guess you need something to do
Yeah,
it.
you
I
need
don't know.
items to do things.
If I remember correct, if it works anything like Dark Souls, which I think it does, if you join your friend and you die, you get kicked out of the game and have to rejoin. Which
See, I mean,
I
we
mean,
don't know
I'd be
that
down
this
to
game is
try
like
this
that.
as like a group. I just think it'll be hard. Like the last type of game like this I played was Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which was fun, but Jesus Christ, it was hard. Like,
Elden
yeah,
Ring is a rallying call to the Soulsborne uninitiated. I can't tell you if From's latest blockbuster is more accessible than its forebears. I can't even confidently speak to the evolution of the combat system or narrative design. This is from a guy who hadn't played the other games. Even so, let me make one thing clear. You should play Elden Ring regardless of your familiarity with its genre. You will spend hours parsing the game's obtuse status and stat enhancing systems. Oh, will you spend hours? Yes. Will you constantly alternate between overaggression and apprehensiveness? Naturally. And will you be met with ruination at every turn? Beyond the shadow of a doubt. Still, fellow newcomer, don't sidestep this historic moment, become tarnished.
I mean, the stats of two stat enhancing system doesn't sound fantastic.
I hear it's like the best version of all the games that they've made. Um,
Okay.
I'm curious. I'll probably give it a shot. Um,
mhm.
did you guys see any trailers?
I feel like something happened.
Can't remember. I don't
I
like.
can't
There's not even
remember.
any movies coming out. There's Batman and like I think Morbius is in a month. I don't even know what the hell else is coming out. Like what's happening the other
Moon
four
Knight.
weeks of the month?
Moon Knight is
But
coming
that's
out
on Disney
next month.
Plus. Like in the theaters, like are they
I don't think.
hemorrhaging money? Like what's happening? Um, apparently, I keep seeing all the shit about how well Uncharted is doing.
But I haven't heard anything about it.
Haven't heard a thing.
Yeah.
Um, while Uncharted has received something of a mixed response from critics and hardcore fans, it boasts an impressive 90% audience score. I mean, I bet it's a fun movie. Um, say what you will about Uncharted, but Tom Holland certainly looks the part. I mean, no, he doesn't. Like he
Yeah,
looks like
those
a
all look
kid.
really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. The Uncharted games remain in a league of their own, but this movie captures their essence and delivers a rip-roaring, swashbuckling adventure. Yeah, I think it probably is a fun movie. But is it making money?
Well, why don't you look at the box office report?
Well, so here, will Uncharted get a sequel after bigger than expected opening weekend? Sony confirms plans. Um, I mean, it's like it has no competition. What other? Can you name one other movie in theaters right now?
No. I mean, is
Yeah,
Spider-Man No Way Home still playing, or
I think so. I mean, why would they take it out? There's like no competition. Um, uh, on the heels of Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and Spider-Man No Way Home, Uncharted is yet another blow to the theatrical naysayers and further proof of the efficacy of our model. I don't think so.
Yeah. Also, the fact that they just threw up 3 films, one of
This
which
sucked. I mean, Everett said that was good, but like I don't know, not that many people saw it. This one was like obviously a blockbuster, but Marvel did it, and like Uncharted is like I don't know anybody that saw it. Do you guys know anyone that saw it?
no.
nope?
And then you get Uncharted cements Tom Holland's A-list status by staying at number one as the Batman gears up for a large debut. What is that headline saying?
It's
Uncharted
saying
proves it's
nothing.
number
It's
one.
saying that Uncharted is alone, and for some reason, this cements his A. This does not cement anything. He
Yeah,
remember when he was in fucking The Devil all the time?
yeah.
Did that cement his A-list sad status? Like this is just noise.
It was initially projected to have a relatively low opening, but massively exceeded expectations. Okay, so
So
it was
they
expected to bomb, and it
yeah.
massively didn't bomb and
I
remained
mean,
number one. Ever, can you look up the box office? Like, what's the number two movie
yeah. Hold on, I'll look it
with
up
a
right now.
90% audience score? I mean, that's cool that it has like. I'm glad it's like a fun movie.
I feel like if that's like deceptive marketing though, like if you're right, if there's nothing else out there and you tell people like, oh, everyone's gonna see this, it's the best movie out there when there's no
Did
competition. That's
did it
kind of
come out this weekend?
stupid.
Is that what it is? 3-day haul, 23.2 million.
Uncharted, it
Total.
says, has made about it's
I'm seeing
open. It had a
$83.
$44 million opening, and it's made where's the this is estimated. This is
So so Spider-Man No Way Home remained number 3 behind Channing Tatum's Dog. It's a dog
So
movie.
it has no competition. I'd also like to point out down there, it says Batman is easily going to make upwards of 100 million during its opening weekend. So Uncharted, they're surprised that it made like 20, 30 million opening.
it made 154 million worldwide so far. That's
They're
domestic and
surprised it made
international.
20, 30 million opening. That means they thought it was going to make like 5 million opening.
Yeah.
This is not a success story. This is like just not a failure story.
Yeah.
So it's the dog movie because everybody's already seen Spider-Man No Way Home. So it beats the dog movie, which I mean, nothing against Channing Tatum, but like there was you couldn't pay me to go see that movie.
The only movie that I've wanted to see in theaters that we haven't reviewed is Dear Evan Hansen because I think it would be hilarious.
You know what that reminded me of? Do you guys remember that really weird Clifford the Bit of Greg dog trailer that they showed?
Oh yeah,
Where he's like getting hunted down by police.
He's fighting the police in the streets. Yeah, I'm thinking like I don't know why I'm saying a hypothetical scenario. This is what happened. I could have gone to see the movie this weekend, but I literally was like, I'll wait to see it like at home. I'm not going to pay for that movie. So, I mean, what are these fluff pieces? Is this like Sony like propaganda?
I think it's just like, oh, I don't know. I just think it's like the confluence of nerdiness. I think there's nerds who like Uncharted and who want the movie to be like a crazy success, and people who like Tom Holland and want him to be a crazy success.
But
and
look at this headline.
This headline, think about this headline though. All the words in this, if you search Uncharted, you could get this article. If you search Tom Holland, you could get this article.
Yeah.
If you search the Batman, you can get this article.
Like the headline says, when the Batman shows up, it's going to destroy Tom Holland's #1 movie against no competition. Like that's what it says, but it says it like it's a victory. Like Tom Holland's movie has achieved something.
Like, look at all we did before we get inevitably destroyed.
Morbius star Michael Keaton reveals he's still working on something Adrian Toomes related. People are not sure if it's for Morbius. Like that's the only thing that we know of because nothing else is filming right now. But like, what is he doing? Like, what is happening over there? Because he's not in the same universe anymore. So are they making a variant? Amazing Spider-Man 2 star Andrew Garfield addresses how that fight with the Rhino really concluded.
I would assume he won.
What he's gonna say.
Basically says that the script ended there and he doesn't know. Batgirl producer reveals when the movie will arrive on HBO Max.
I hate that costume. I don't know why.
I mean, it looks like a leather jacket. That doesn't help. Where's the speculation? December. As of right now, Avatar 2 and Aquaman are both set to battle it out on December 16th.
Wait, yeah, Avatar 2 is coming out on December 16th?
Yeah, we haven't seen anything about Avatar at all. Actually,
I mean, that's like a year
game
away.
Trailer, but
that's like a year away.
Yeah, but still, like, what the fuck? Wait, the success Wonder Woman 1984 found.
Oh, that's
what
not
are
true.
These? What is this?
What are these people smoking?
So they're thinking. I thought he confirmed.
Do you think these people just watched the movie and liked them, and then they consider that like a victory? They're like, oh, the movie did well because I found it enjoyable.
I think that the average person is more and more stupid by the day. And I think that there are people that actually think that that these are successes. I remember we talked about how someone pointed out to me on Reddit or something that people who watch this stuff tend to not watch other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
and they think that it's good and they think that it's groundbreaking. Whereas I have like in the back of my mind, I have like other things that I'm like, well, that's how a proper movie is done. And then this is the one that they butchered. Whereas other
Yeah,
people
they
just see
lack
the
the
butchered version.
comparison. Sure, if
Yeah.
they had a movie that was actually well made that did really well, they'd compare it to this all the time, and it'd be bad, of course, bad by comparison.
And coming in November and December, Michael Keaton returns. So November, what's November? Is that supposed to be the Flash or something? No, Flash is this spring, isn't it?
This article is fucking weird.
When is Flash? Like I don't even know. Like November. Okay, so that's November. So then he's Michael Keaton's in Batgirl in December is basically what he's saying. They should not do December 16th. Honestly, that's a lot to even put out. Like Avatar and Aquaman, and then Batgirl a week later. All right. Anyway, Morbius director explains why this iteration of the living vampire is a hero and not a villain. Well, that's good for all the people that are fans of Morbius the villain. Let's pander to the people that have no idea who he is. Do you guys think that's a good strategy, actually?
I don't think making
Making them
movies out of
heroes.
villains by themselves is a good strategy at all.
But you make him into a hero. You have to, right?
Yeah, but then
You know, it could be done that your protagonist is a villain, like Tony Soprano. But then Tony Soprano has like more villainous people around him that he competes with. So if you're going to tell a story, you have to make your character the protagonist. They have to be the person like propelling the plot forward, but you could still make them evil. You don't have to make them a literal hero.
I guess. I mean, remember one of my rules of filmmaking that I keep is like as long as you can make changes to the source material so long as it benefits the character and it's good. I'd say that they could do that and it'd be good, but having seen the Venom movies, especially the most recent one, it doesn't really apply. They make changes and they suck. So I don't know how
I think
it's
that
gonna
I
work.
think that you can make a villain a hero. Like as I said, I don't really care about like established. Well, in the comics, he's this. But at the same time, I also think that it's kind of annoying how they're like they're taking these villains because they have no one else, and they're creating a villain cinematic universe so that they can make their version of the Sinister Six. But I'm gonna be honest, who the fuck else are they gonna have? Stilt Man? Is he gonna come running in off screen?
Well, if you read what he's saying, it's not that bad of a script.
Well, yeah, and I just read what he's saying here. It's like the competition, like he has good aims, but he has to struggle with these powers and he's got to resist. And like, yeah, totally makes sense. I expect to see that, but I also like, I don't know. I'm keeping a cooler. Sony kind of fucks things up.
Are they assuming they're gonna get someone to play Spider-Man for that Sinister Six movie?
I don't think they can make the movie without him.
Right. Because if they make a Sinister Six movie without him, then it's just going to be six villains vying.
But they don't
for the...
have six,
They have
right?
two.
They have Venom, they have Morbius, they have Craven,
They have Big Wheel.
they have potentially Carnage, I guess we could call that four. Um, and then they have Vulture, possibly. So that's five. So they still are short one more to make a Sinister Six. But
Still,
anyway,
man.
listen to the last sentence. To become the hero, he has to accept his fate. Morbius's journey is to accept that he will still remain the person that he is, but he has to harness these powers. I wonder what the third act is going to look like. So he's gonna go save the people from Matt Smith's vampire by becoming the vampire monster and killing him, and then he's gonna just like it's gonna end with him like walking in the street as he's like out there now. I mean, that's how it's gonna end, right?
Probably. Or
Yeah,
who
it
knows?
seems
Maybe
like
at the
it.
end he'll be captured by the goblin.
But
The
then that's a
shitty
weird
goblin.
twist, like to later turn around and be like, and now he's gonna fight Spider-Man. Like, why would he do that? He would
That's
be
what I
Matt
mean.
Smith's person. That's who he should be. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I mean, I like how the vampire looks. I'll say that.
Are you going to buy a Hot Toys figure of him if he comes out?
Probably, yeah.
I saw this.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 director James Gunn debunks rumors the threequel will feature modern songs. So, I mean, I never heard that rumor, but
Yeah.
Peter Quill got his hands on a Zune. That means he now has access to a whole host of new tunes. But a recent rumor suggests that his time on Earth, Avengers Endgame, may have seen Star-Lord take some present-day tracks back into outer space with him. I don't know. Like, do you have a problem with that? With him listening to modern music?
I don't have a problem with it, but I just
As long
think
as
it
it's good.
it's weird that James Gunn's like, no. It's all Zune songs. Like,
I mean, I would get that he would probably like search for the genre and time period and like explore more, but he would probably go for what's after it because I'm sure he knows like what was it 1970 music?
I
Is that what it
mean,
is?
something like that.
He would go to like whatever's next. He'd be like, oh, so what came up after that? Like that would be his logical place. So I think moving it up a little bit in the timeline, like it doesn't have to all be music from that same period.
So long as they're not blasting stuff like Cardi B, like I don't care really.
I mean, I think that would be funny if he like was just exploring it and didn't know what the hell it was. And he's like, what's a WAP? Emerson, I thought you might be interested in this Fallout TV series has Walton Goggins.
yeah, I saw this. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. He looks like he should be a ghoul though. Oh, it
Yeah.
even says he's likely playing a ghoul.
He does look like a ghoul, yeah. I mean, he has
Well,
the whole like apocalypse look to him.
who's just pray they don't butcher it like they're butchering Halo.
I
I'm
think that
sure
they will
will.
butcher it.
Yeah.
The Batman director Matt Reeves explains why only Warner Brothers mandate was to make the movie PG-13.
It's a big mandate.
Wait a minute, I
They
just realized
embraced it.
did we ever discuss the Lord of the Rings trailer last week or
I didn't see it.
I saw it. I think it looks awful. It looks cheap. It looks
The
soulless.
Ring
I think
of
it's gonna be
Power or
bad.
some shit like that.
Yeah.
They embraced it the whole time. There was never a moment where they said to me, "Are you sure? Let's not." They really leaned into everything, and I've had the support too. I have to say, this movie is exactly the movie I wanted it to be, and they have supported me all the way through it. One thing they did do, which was my intention from the beginning, was I'm a little suspicious of that, was they said, look, it's important to us that the movie is PG-13. We want to make money. Oh, wait, no, he says, it's a Batman movie, and we're investing so much in it. Like, they just want to play it to more people. Like,
we want to make money?
and I was like, well, in the Apes movies, I tried to sort of find that balance as well. I felt like in that same way, I knew that we could push the boundaries of what you could do in a PG-13 movie and still deliver everything I wanted to do. I think that you're right, because you could do a lot with violence. When it comes to PG-13 and R-rated, it's usually in terms of sex that, like, and I don't want to see him like
Or
show
like
naked women.
extreme gore.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
Yeah, like really extreme. Like you don't need to see it because most of the time it works better if you don't see it.
like compare it to
Yeah.
Deadpool for a minute because it's only like other R-rated superhero movie I can think of. Like imagine the
he just
gore
curses
like
a
that.
lot.
He curses
and,
a lot.
like-
And imagine the gore like that in Batman. It wouldn't make sense.
Well,
Maybe to some degree, but
gruesome murders make sense for Batman. Like he's like investigating gruesome murders. But I mean, if you're telling a story about the Riddler, like there's ways to hide it and to make it seem scary still. But I don't necessarily need to see them like having sex or like, saying a lot of bad words, like outrageous bad words and stuff.
fuck
Like,
Batman.
Like you could imagine Penguin has like a strip club or something, and he's like, I don't know. You remember in The Sopranos where like Ralph like hits the guy in the face with a mace and Tony's like getting a blowjob? I guess maybe you guys haven't seen it.
No, I've seen that.
But they like show like stuff that you don't really have to show that. All right, Obi-Wan Kenobi plot reveals Jedi Order story arc and more. Everett,
What?
should be interested.
Oh,
Up until now,
boy.
the assumption has been that Obi-Wan Kenobi will see the Jedi Master pursued by Darth Vader's Sith Inquisitors after they finally lure him out of hiding. While there's some truth to that, Making Star Wars is reporting that Ben Kenobi is having no trouble staying off the radar 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. Instead, it's a young Jedi Nari, who tracks Kenobi down to Tatooine after being inspired by the message Obi-Wan sent out to his fellow Force users during the madness of Order 66. This plucky hero hopes to restore the Jedi Order, but is unaware he's jeopardizing Kenobi's far more important mission of protecting the young Luke Skywalker from his father, Darth Vader, and the Emperor. The third
boy.
sister and fifth brother track Neri to Tatooine, and the former believes she senses Kenobi's presence. Uncle Owen witnesses the villains brutally interrogating the planet's citizens and is quick to send Ben away when he attempts to present the young Luke with a gift. Unfortunately, the site's description of events gets a little less clear from there. They do, however, note that Bail Organa asked for Kenobi's help in rescuing the young Princess Leia. Provides a perfect opportunity for him to leave Tatooine and ensure the Sith Inquisitors don't discover Luke.
I mean, I think there could be some interesting stuff like this Nari person. If this person gets built up and then killed, like if Vader, if it's like Obi-Wan has to choose between helping Nari or staying with Luke, and it's like he has to abandon Nari because he has his goal. Like there could be, but that's assuming they do something like that, and it's not. Now Nari gets a spinoff called Star Wars Rebellion, and like
it is interesting because the right move is to attach him to somebody else so that whatever's happening is not directly related to him, because he can't actually like do anything story wise. But it's called Obi-Wan Kenobi, so it's going to be him being like, I can't help you, but then helping her. And then the show's really about her, but he's there getting all the cool moments probably. And then ultimately it just ends with him like going back to his cave.
As I'm saying, it should be like he gets dragged into this. It seems inspirational, and then he has to make this choice: help her or help Luke, and then she dies. Like he abandons her to stay with his mission, and it's like that's maybe why he sacked.
You just described an hour and a half.
I agree. It shouldn't be a show.
Yeah,
but like it sounds like that plot right there is how the first episode is going to end. 100%. He's going to end up going to help Leia Organa.
If it's anything like Boba Fett, they're going to sprinkle in a bunch of flashbacks, because I read somewhere that he got to work with Hayden Christensen playing Anakin Skywalker, not Darth Vader. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of that in there.
I don't. He's my favorite character, so I'm like, of course I would watch it. Except
prepare to watch him get butchered.
I just know that there's not going to be substance. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I can watch it. Like, I don't know. All right.
Prepare to watch him get butchered.
Do you have a fight of the week, Everett?
What? You mean smartass?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Emerson, did you have a fight of the week? I forgot
For
about
Pleasantville, my theory was like, if you got put in the community, how would you wake them up? And I'm assuming you're not going to go around having sex with all the college basketball players.
You assumed wrong.
Oh, God. But it looks like if you just started beating the shit out of people, they'd also wake up. Because getting angry, like feeling emotion.
Teach them racial slurs and they'll like be awakened to their racism, which they already have. Like, you can kind of tell. And like they just don't know it. And like you wake them up to their racism and they wake up and they're like, the world is beautiful. Imagine if you taught them only like Nazi propaganda. You know, like this is a race called the Jews. This is all the reasons we don't like them. Here's our fearless leader. Like, you create a whole like little Nazi society that sprinkles out to the whole world as they become more enlightened.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
The alternate universe where Hitler gets transported to Pleasantville.
Honestly, I would probably like, I don't know, man. If I was in Pleasantville and I didn't actually have to go to the bathroom anymore, I might just be like, something to this place. It's 1950s. Like, nobody knows anything. Like, I know how to do a bunch of shit they've never even heard of. I could become like rich and powerful here. I don't know. Like, maybe I'll just hang out. Like, why change it? Why change anything?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder, like, if I started teaching them like jujitsu, would that open up their minds? Like, would that screw everything up?
I mean, to an extent, but like it seems like he had to do a lot to get the world to change. Like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't
maybe
know.
if they all just knew jujitsu, it would be fine.
I probably wouldn't change. That would be the weird thing, is I would probably stay the same. Because I wouldn't like, I don't know. It's weird because Jennifer was like a slut turned into a nerd, which is kind of like what are you saying? She can't be like both. Like she can't study books and boys. I don't know. Like what does that mean? That she's changed? She just likes school more now. Like she just cares about school a little more. Is that? I don't know. And then he didn't seem like he just didn't seem that popular at school. And here now he is popular. But it's really that he became brave. But like, wouldn't you be brave? Like, isn't that like supposed to be an inherent quality? Someone's brave, or I don't know.
It's
Like,
weird.
I don't know how that changes you. All right, Everett, do you have a smart ass game?
Yeah, I do. I do. I'm gonna start you guys off with think, just because that's the only one I don't have an extra question for. So, you guys ready?
Okay.
Here we go. Okay, so this one doesn't have a specific name. I had to give it basically the name that people call it. So if you guess it, I'll give that as a correct answer. But if you get a close approximation, I'll also give that as a correct answer. All right, ready?
Yep.
Here we go. This item first appeared in the year 2007. It comes in a different range of colors and sizes. It provides extensive protection from the elements. It is technologically advanced, and it can have software downloaded and uploaded into it.
Iron Man's armor?
No. Emerson?
2007.
Katniss's tent.
No. This item was not built by humans.
Tent? What?
Well, because I was like, he
What
said
tent?
it provided it. He said it provided like protection from the elements, and I was like, well, maybe one of those things.
But
was supposed to be a
2007 is too early.
This item was
What
not
else
built by
happened?
humans.
Okay.
It contains various forms of medical and decontamination equipment. It is rarely ever removed. It is built for personal isolation. It has an important role in the people who uses it society.
2007. I don't know. Like that's the part I'm stuck on.
This item was famously worn by Talizora of Normandy.
The
Oh,
item? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, the Korean like medical isolation suits.
Yeah, that's close
Oh,
enough.
it's
Yeah,
the
that's
suit?
correct.
Oh, okay.
That's close enough. Good. All right. All right. What's next? Place or person?
Person.
Person. Okay, here we go. This person first appeared in the year 1974. They were originally born into a wealthy family. They have appeared across all mediums of entertainment, but are most well known for movies and comics. They are considered to be gruff, temperamental, and extremely dangerous. They were last seen in a film from the year 2017. They wandered the earth as a lone wolf. The original version of this character is very short.
Wolverine?
Hawkeye.
What'd you say, Kia?
Wolverine.
Correct.
Damn.
Guy. Wolverine was rich. I don't remember.
He was born into a rich Canadian family in his original origin. All right. Place. Here we go. This location first appeared in the year 2014. It is located in a very large city. According to the stories, there used to be 8 of these installations at the height of power. It was destroyed one time and rebuilt.
Halo.
What?
The Halo.
No. Kia?
Can you say the first 2 clues again?
It first appeared in the year 2014. It's located in a large city. And according to the stories, there used to be 8 of these installations at the height of power.
I feel like this is something recent. 2014, you said?
Mhm.
I don't even remember what happened in 2014. I was 24 years old. I was fighting. What came out? I don't know. 8 of them. I don't know. Fucking Myriad's rings.
No. I already said it was destroyed. This location has a hangar.
The Tower. Destiny.
Correct.
Oh, I would have never gotten that.
You might have gotten it with the other hints.
were
Emerson,
the
you want
other
the extra
hints?
question?
Yes, I'll take the extra question, but I
wait,
do
what
also
were the
want to
other
hear the other
hints?
hint.
Okay, well, after a hangar, it contains a collection of vendors that sell supplies to those who visit. It has only ever appeared in video games. It sits in the shadow of a large, powerful being. It's the HQ of the Vanguard and the home of the Guardians.
That I would have got, but at that point, Emerson would have guessed it.
Okay,
All right.
give me that extra question.
Your
I
extra
have to
question
get
is what
question
alien
two.
race destroyed the tower?
The Cabal.
Correct. Okay. So that's 3 points for Emerson and 1 for Kia. So Emerson is you guys are tied 11-11.
We're tied?
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea we were that close already. I thought I was losing a lot.
No, you were winning.
Oh, I don't know. Okay. All right. So next week, the Batman.
The Batman.
What do you guys think? What's your prediction reviews?
I think I will. See, I think I'll give it a win, but because I think I'll give it a win, like if it lets me down, do you see what I'm saying? Because like I'm kind of expecting it to be good.
I think I'm going to give it a draw. I think it's going to my expectations are going to kind of be shattered just a tiny bit.
This is a really weird thing for me because like Batman was my number one favorite thing for most of my life. I was super excited about the Dark Knight trilogy. By the end of it, I was like, Jesus, what the fuck did they do? Then like Ben Affleck's thing happens, the whole Snyder thing happens. At this point, I have no expectations. The movie looks good, but it's weird that there's a Batman movie coming out, and I'm just kind of like, because I think I've been burned way too many times. So I
Learn to
have
trust
no idea.
again, Kia.
Like, I wonder if I'll come out of this. It'll show that I'm still really into it if I have a lot of like things to say. But if I'm just like, yeah, it was good, kind of like Pleasantville, like, yeah, it was good, but otherwise not much of an impression on me. That really means like that will tell you how far they've screwed it all up. Because somebody like me should be like dying to see this movie. Like I
Yeah.
should be reading leaks right now, like unable to contain my excitement. And I actually haven't even watched any of the trailers aside from that first one. Because I'm like, why?
I felt that way about Spider-Man, but I don't know. I don't really care about this one that much.
I'm
I'll
like
watch
such
it,
a
but-
fan that I have my idea of what it should be. So I just feel like I don't want to even go down that road. I'm just gonna like see it for what it is and then just walk out of the theater, I guess. I mean that's my plan. I don't know. We'll see.
Mm.
All right. So I will see you guys next time.
All right.
See you next
See
time.
ya.